Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas, and today I'm going to show you how to make a card from the catalog. Once a week I like to get on YouTube and share how to make one of these cards so that you can see how easy it is to find inspiration in the catalog, and just sometimes there's new techniques or things that maybe we haven't tried before, and the catalog gives us great ideas for those things. Lately I have realized I have been copying the cards pretty much exactly as they're found in the catalog. I've been changing them up just a little bit, but not a lot. So today I decided to, I knew I wanted to work with Sunny Splash. Summer is almost over and I haven't used this set much, and it was one of the ones I was most excited about getting. I have used it some. I've done things with it that I really love, but I haven't put on the internet, so I thought I would go ahead and use this stamp set, but not with one of the card samples that's in the catalog for this set. Instead I'm using one for another set. So let me go ahead and switch to the desktop there, and I am using a card out of the annual catalog, which is where you'll find Sunny Splash, but I am using this card found on page 15, this one here. I'm not making a square card, and I'm not using anything that is shown on this card, so I just took this idea and I made a standard 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card with it, and using the Sunny Splash stamps, and I'm only using one ink pad, and that's Pacific Point. So what I am doing is using this amazing designer series paper. It's called Celebrate Everything. It's 12 by 12. It comes with 48 sheets, and so there's 12 designs. No, there's 24 designs because it's double-sided. So I'm using both sides of this sheet of paper. Let me show you. So you have 4 of this, and then 4 of this piece. And I love this because you have just some generic pages that can be used for anything, like this. But then you also have all the different seasons, so that one would be great for fall. This is great for Halloween, obviously, but then the other side is just stripes. So if you don't do Halloween cards, then that's fine, because there's other options. Like these stars. There's more Christmas. But again, I think that this side, of course, it could be used for Christmas, but it could be used for anything else. Anything at all. Same with this one. There's more 4th of July firework paper. Candies. And another perfectly generic paper. So the colors that can be found in this paper are basic black, crushed curry, granny apple green, Pacific Point, polished pink, pool party, poppy parade, and shaded spruce. So you've got a good assortment of colors there, and they all coordinate really nicely. In fact, that's sometimes how I figure out what colors I want to use, is I'll look at our designer series paper, see what colors are used in it, and then pick from that. It helps me to narrow it down. Sometimes too many choices, it just can get a little overwhelming, so I like to narrow down those choices sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to start by stamping the swimsuits using the Pacific Point on just some scrap pieces of paper. So I'm going to use this one, this striped one piece, and this other 2 piece. a little bit of a halo around that one, but that's okay because I'm fussy cutting around all of these, and I'll cut closer than where that halo is. So I have cheated a little bit, and I went ahead and I used my paper snips, and I cut around 3 swimsuits just like those that I stamped earlier with the Pacific Point. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm using these squares of this polka dot paper from Celebrate Everything. Okay, so these Granny Apple Green squares are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 of an inch, and then the polka dot squares are 1 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue, and I'm going to adhere the Designer Series paper to the Granny Apple Green. Okay, and then this is a Poppy Parade card base. It's cut 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches and then scored at 5 1/2 inches. And then this is the other side of that polka dot paper, and it is 5 1/2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this liquid glue and adhere this to the front of my card base. Okay, so now I'm just going to take these 3 squares, position them kind of how I want them on the card. I want them a little towards the top, not fully centered. Okay, and while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to grab a piece of Pool Party cardstock. This is 1 inch by 2 1/2 inches. And I'm going to use the Hello Sunshine stamp from this same stamp set. You could also use a Happy Birthday stamp, or just whatever sentiment it is that you want to use on this card. I'm going to set that aside while I do this last part. So for this part, you can do one of 2 things. You can use tear and tape and carefully put it along the back of this crinkled seam binding ribbon, or since this is a top fold card, you can take it and just wrap it around. And I really like doing this with this crinkled seam binding ribbon as well, because this is a very thin ribbon, so it's not going to make the inside of your card thick or anything. So I'm just going to wrap it around and then tie a bow in it. You can cut the ribbon off the spool if you want to ahead of time. I like to go ahead and leave it on. That way I don't have to waste too much ribbon, because I'm never exactly sure how long I'm going to need it. There we go. And if you're worried about your ribbon sliding off the end there, I would just put a little bit of adhesive underneath. So I am going to grab my tearing tape. You could also use glue dots. And I'm just going to put a little bit behind the knot. Then fold it in half. Or I'm just going to roll it up. There we go, that works. And I'm going to put it right here behind the knot. That way you can't see it, because it's nice and folded. And then this other side here, I'm just going to place this right under the ribbon. And press it down. There we go. A little straighter that way. So now I don't have to worry about losing my ribbon off the end of my card. Now I'm going to take the Stampin' Dimensionals and put them on the back of this sentiment piece. Then I'm going to use dimensionals also on the backs of each of the swimsuits. Of course, if you wanted to make this a square card instead of just the regular rectangle, you could make it just a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch card and leave off the ribbon. Let's see. I forgot to cut the ribbon off the spool. It's still stuck together. Let me just do that real quick. So I used my paper snips. I try to use them only for paper. And then I have another pair of scissors that I just keep on hand when I'm wanting to cut ribbon, or every once in a while fabric, usually ribbon. There we go. And you can move that ribbon up or down wherever you want to put it. But what do you think about this card? And can you see how it came from this one in the catalog? Thank you for watching my video today. If you have any questions about this card, Stampin' Up, paper crafting in general, let me know. I'll be happy to answer those either in the comments, or you can send me a message on Facebook or send me an email. And I'll be happy to answer those. And of course, if you need any of the products that I used in today's video, all those links are down below. I've got them listed out and linked right to my online store. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy stamping.